All right, thank you for sticking with us. Just like my colleague Evelyn said earlier, Fridays, maybe we find a way to have some exciting thing to round off the week. We're talking entertainment now, especially the comedy sector. This particular act, you might want to call him, he has many names. He's called MC Shem, he's called Mama Shem, he's a comedian, he's an entertainment person, and Ayodele Aguda, he's his name, popularly known as MC Shem, the comedian. Good morning, MC Shem.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So good to be here.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Very quick one. You go by many stage names. Many person knew you or knows you by that feminine character, the Mama Shem character, the MC Shem character.
Yes.
By the way,
Yes.
how did you come by, especially that feminine, wearing female things? And what was your intention, using that props when you started?
I think the whole intention.
Oh, okay, we might have to reconnect back with MC Shem, especially one interesting character. You know what people do with comedy, many persons. And by the way, that particular props of guys wearing female things,
Yeah.
and then, churning out content. I think it wasn't popular before. In fact, many persons will see whoever does that as a clown. But these days, it's quite popular.
Yes, and I think it's not like people see whoever does that as a clown. It depends on what you are doing with it. We've had the likes of Tyler Perry did that with
Yeah.
Madea, and people didn't see it as
Multiple
something
characters,
exactly playing multiple characters, and it was a thing back then, and people applauded him for
that
his
was
talents. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, bringing it into comedy, it seems the old comedy space is oversaturated with stuff like this where men tend to wear women's clothes to look funny and all. At first, when it started out, people thought it was talent.
All right,
Okay.
MC Shem, can you hear us now? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, you are going to land on your thoughts. Please go ahead.
Okay, so like I said when it started initially, it came out of trying to satisfy the market of people who grew up in an African home, people who could relate to what happened growing up in an African home. But as per the reason why I started, basically, it was because I'd gone to so many auditions, movie auditions, and all of that, and it just got to a stage. I said, okay, if I'm not going to get casted for a role, I can just try to do something on my own. And it was like the new age that time when we had like social media coming up, YouTube and all of that. So I just decided, let me make videos and put up on YouTube, because then I was making videos and taking to TV stations at that time. And I said, okay, you still have to make these videos, take them to TV stations, and then you still have to pay some of the staff so they can air your videos, and you just hope they air it at the time when people will see it. But if you put up content on social media and eventually you have followers or you have subscribers or you have people viewing your video, then you actually control the market. So that was the whole idea behind it. And then a major factor was money. We wanted to make money.
Of course, that's important. The way they say it, there are insinuations that maybe it has something to do with you wanting to portray the average African mother and how they react to your things. Is that right? Does it have anything to do with your
Yes.
mom while growing up?
Yes, it has a lot to do with me growing up. I grew up in a typical African home, so everything you see there, or maybe not everything, most of the character, most of the display you see there is actually what my mom used to display while we were growing up. It may be exaggerated, but it is.
Interesting. So how has it been? I think it's the age of content creation, content making, skit making. If how many persons we say what comedians, what skit makers make right now, maybe that's where the pepe, the way you say it, maybe that's where it is now. Is it everybody that can do skit making? And how did you start out, really?
Okay, when I started out, I started out by creating content with my phone. I don't want to mention brand name, but it was a really, really old phone at that time. And we used to make content on the phone and edit on the phone. And later we moved on to buying a better phone to make content with and edit on it. And later we moved on into buying cameras. And later now we moved on into owning a studio. Presently, as I talk to you now, we have a production team of close to 40 something people. And we have 11 editors. And just that people will just edit videos alone. So right now it's a business, but then it was something we did for fun in a way. But it's a very lucrative business, if that's what you want to know. If it's very lucrative, yes. Okay. And anyone can make money out of it. It's not there's no particular way to it. If you really face it and you're determined and you know your game, you have the time, you give it what is required, you definitely make your money out of it.
So yes. You think it's something that I can make money out of it? I also I'm in need of some money, you know. If it's that lucrative as you call it,
you can. Yes, you can.
Okay,
you
so
can.
Let's
anybody
talk about...
can. And me, I like to tell people, anybody, even sometimes when I'm talking to my team members, my staff, and I tell them, and I'm giving them all the advantages of content creation. When people come and they hear me saying those kind of talks to them, they're like, oh, these people work for you. Why do you tell them this? Why do you tell them so much? I say, I don't plan they work for me forever. If they want to go and do their thing, they can go and do their thing. Anybody can do this. I can just get another editor. I'll sit up to him. If he goes to start his content creation, I'll just get another editor. It's always a circle of life. Okay. But anybody can do content.
Wow, nice. Thinking and mentality there. Right. Now let's talk about the sustainability of your craft. As it is now, it seems skip making is the in thing, especially when it comes to cross gender roles or cross dressing kind of skit, if you understand what I'm talking about. Now you see more males dressing as females, trying to portray the African mom or Nigerian mom kind of thing, and people are consuming this content so much. But I think, how are you looking forward to sustaining your craft when people are no longer interested in this kind of content and they want something new? There was a time that stand-up comedy was a thing. Now it's really not that in vogue anymore. Even the stand-up comedians are now doing skits. So when it comes to a time when skits is no longer in place, how do you hope to sustain your craft just to remain relevant out there?
Okay, so this is the thing that people usually don't understand. Everything is the same. It just transitions. And when I mean things transition, I mean everything is the same, just transition. You just have to transition with it. And you have to understand when it is moving. This is the same thing everybody has done from day one. It's the same thing from when they started, when we had the whole Lalu Day and the whole theater play, live play. That was what was in then. It was the same thing. It was live drama. Even when we moved into Hollywood, the days of Francis Noah and all of that, then they said, okay, we're not doing this thing again on stage. We want to do it on camera now. We have tapes, we can record it. It is the same thing. When it moved into Baba's way, trying to stand in front of people and entertain people, it was a transition. Then they started having stand-up comedy. That was like the early days for me. And then we had like really old Yoruba comedians who would stand and do funny things to make people laugh. Then it transitioned into people who just stand and talk and they make people laugh. It's all the same thing. And then it's transitioning right now. Even when you transition into the TV stations were the ones who really had all of the numbers and the time, DSTV and everything. It's all the same. The main thing, like I like to tell people, is the world is constantly changing. Your ability to move with it is what matters. Now we're moving into Netflix. I don't know if I can see that here, Prime Video, Netflix and all of that. It's all transitioning. Someone who does content and gives the television show also have in mind that, okay, there's a whole lot of numbers on Netflix now, on Hulu, on Prime Video, on Amazon Prime Video. I need to make content for those people as well. It's all transitioning. Now you see, it is the same Nollywood movie they used to shoot, they still shoot, but now a lot of people shoot it for YouTube. Now, they understand that if I shoot this Nollywood video and just take it to TV stations, it is no more enough. A lot of people are now watching YouTube on their phones. People spend more time on their phone. It is all the same thing. Maybe the platforms change, maybe the scenarios change. It is all the same thing. It is just moving with the time and moving with the moment and moving with the trend per time. But all you have to do is just the same thing. Entertain. Maybe the platform where you put the entertainments are changing, but just entertain. And recognize when the platform changes and you need to move to another platform. But the basic thing, the constant thing is that people are entertaining and people want to see entertainment. Where people see that entertainment is what changes, you move to where people now want to see the entertainment. Simple.
Okay, so and MC Shem, do you have another talent that can bring in money aside, playing the role of those mamas and all of that? We've seen Nas Boy transition to a musician. We've seen comedians become actors. Is there something else you would love to do aside comedy? Probably you have a very nice voice that the world is yet to hear, or probably you'll be producing a movie later on in the future.
Okay, so basically right now, while I am doing Mama Shem, I run about 7 other productions that I am not even involved in them.
Okay.
7. Sorry, excuse me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay. So, like I said, I run about 7 other productions that I'm not even involved in them. And these are productions that people watch online in high numbers, and they don't even know that I produce them. And then secondly, another thing I do is I'm into properties right now. I just like to buy and actually rent out properties, not even to swap or to. I just like to build and rent out and all of that. But it's not something I'm totally involved in because I don't like anything distracting me from production. What I really love to do is production. I love production so much. So I have like a chain of productions, and people still a lot of time associate me to Mama Shem, which I love. It is good that they do that. But Mama Shem is not even up to 5% of my earning right now.
Interesting.
It is not.
All right, MC Shem, it is good that you put that there, maybe because of the constraint of time. Some other time, if time permits, we'd like to have you more and, discuss these things, especially the hustle. I'm sure you had your downtime, maybe your doubt time in which you are thinking, am I really born for this? Now that you are turning out huge numbers. In fact, our producer, just a while ago put up a picture of you holding multiple plaques from YouTube. And the figures, many persons are saying, okay, skit making is not entirely new. There are things that stand-up comedians, remember when AY, Bovey, Basket Mouth were always using it to promote their shows, not even on this commercial quantity. But now, you guys, Macaroni, Taoma, Nas Boy, La Sisi Elenu, you guys are churning out the numbers. But my question is this, the Nigerian market, how big is this? Because, we learn you don't really stay in Nigeria, but it's like you must still come to Nigeria. Is that where your market is? Or it's just a global thing?
Okay, so the thing, like I said, for me is that I run a production studio here. So I don't know how to explain this, but people don't really get it. What I mean by me running a production studio is that I have to come here to shoot. I have to come here to do productions. I have to come here to talk to my directors, my producers, my editors, and with scriptwriters. I have to come in every time. So even when my family is in Canada, so if I spend 1 month in Canada or 2 months, if I spend 2 months in Canada, that means I have to spend 4 months here. If I spend 1 month in Canada, that means I have to spend 2 months in Nigeria, because it is really important that I keep eyes on things. And like I said, we have a lot of productions going on, and it is not just like, if you notice a lot of skit makers that you see now, they do skits. Sometimes they're just having fun. They do like a short video for cruise and all of that. You don't really think that's what they really live on. this whole thing is like I told you, it's transitioning. People are beginning to transition into proper movie making. People are beginning to transition into music, like you mentioned, Nas Boy did. People are beginning to transition into a whole lot of other businesses. But because this is something many of us love to do, you always still see on our face on this particular thing. But a lot of people are transitioning into something else. It might also be within the entertainment space, yes, but the transitioning still goes on. So basically, that's it.
All right, MC Shem, Mama Shem, MC comedian, you know, it is so many things to different people. An entertainer, I think that's the right word to put it. I want to sincerely thank you, Ayodele Aguda, for your time.
Yes.
One of these days, we'd like to have you again for a longer time so that we discuss, especially art and entertainment sector. Do have for yourself a very lovely day.
You too. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And this is where we'll put the brakes. You know, on the program today, we'll talk about the security, which is very important. And of course, the weekend is here. Go have fun if you can. You have to make yourself happy, but be responsible. Take responsibility for your actions as well. As we sign out on this program, you know, we would like you to have a hang of all that production from MC Shem. Femi Ojo is my name. Thank you for staying with us all week. It's been absolutely interesting with you. You can have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. And everything that you do, stay alive.
And my name is Evelyn Ohiolei. They say laughter is medicine for the soul. Ensure that you laugh as much as you can this weekend. Ensure to have for yourself a good time. Spring Trends is coming right next.
Look over there.
Who is that?
That's my ex.
What happened to him?
He ran mad.
Why?
Because he broke up with me.
Dissolve! This evening you will die.
Let's go. I have other things to tell you.
Okay.
Look over there.
I can see him. Why is he doing like that?
He has been doing that for the past 6 years.
Hey! 6 years? Why? What happened?